someone must have left the faucet on, because we're getting more than just leaks from the Elden Ring movie set. Yesterday we got some set photos that had leaked showing actress Emma Layard, who is allegedly playing Queen Marika, on the set, filming some scenes, as well as just set photos from Lanedale, or what we're assuming is going to be Lanedale. And they're building a lot of stuff. There's a lot going on here. Today we have gotten a lot of video footage, a lot of it coming from Unbox PhD over here on YouTube, and they've shot a lot of footage that that they've posted, and there's some crazy stuff here. They are filming the hanging of the loathsome dung eater on set, full everything, the full costume, the full hanging, the crowds throwing like food at him while he's hanging. This is crazy. I'm so interested to see where all of this is going to fit in together. But a lot of this is hinting towards that maybe more of this film is going to be focused on that pre-shattering, like a lead up to the Elden Ring game, maybe, as opposed to just, you know, a straight adaptation of the base game, which I think is a much better move. This is something I've noticed with a lot of video game adaptations, is 9 times out of 10 the best adaptations are ones that are set either adjacent as a like complete reinterpretation of that universe, or set in the same universe but telling a completely different story, like the Fallout TV show. And if we're getting something that's essentially a prequel to the video game, as opposed to just doing a retelling of the game, which again, there's so many branching paths in the game, even with like multiple endings, like how do you even adapt Elden Ring the game into a movie? There's just so much there. It makes so much more sense to tell a story that hasn't been directly told in the game. And if we're looking at a potential essentially prequel to the game, this fills me with a lot more hope, a lot more optimism for this project, and a lot more interest. Like, I'm interested to see, what are we covering, like what character. I mean, we're already seeing Queen Marika, which is crazy to see an actress with the full costume and everything. A lot of people are pointing out that she's not the correct, which, to be fair, there's not really anyone who's going to be like 9 feet tall in real life. I imagine they're going to do some kind of forced perspective, visual effects, and post-production to show her at her like true height. And where does this, you know, this is a younger Queen Marika, you know, how does this all play in together? I guess we'll just have to see. And yeah, the hanging of the loathsome dung eater is crazy. That it is such a cool thing to actually see in like live action. The costumes look so good. The outfits look incredible. They look straight out of the game. If this movie is absolutely terrible, there's one thing I think we can say from these set photos, which is, at the bare minimum, the art direction was top-notch. Top-notch, because everything I've seen looks stunning. I am getting very excited for it in terms of seeing a live action adaptation of these video game costumes, locations in live action. Again, whether or not the story itself is good, whether or not the film is good, all of that remains to be seen. But it does seem like, hey, look, we're putting a lot of attention to detail into these sets, into these props, into these costumes. Like, I'm getting a little bit more hopeful, cautiously optimistic. So we're just gonna have to see. But yeah, this is this is absolutely crazy stuff. I was not expecting to see this level of like leaks from the Elden Ring movie. We've seen a lot of leaks with other films in the past from big franchises. Star Wars has always notoriously been a huge one that has always had like major set leaks, and now getting, you know, something similar to that with like Elden Ring is really interesting. And again, it's so cool to see all of these locations built out. Obviously, they will be very likely enhanced by CGI and things like that, and expanded. But seeing these like ground level sets being built, and it's not all just, you know, green screen and you know, half built sets or whatever, just to like, you know, keep within like a certain range. Like this looks like full areas we're shooting in. I'm getting a little bit more interested. I'm again, like, I want to be cautious, but I'm like getting more like cautiously optimistic. So we're just gonna have to see where some of this goes. And if there's any more huge leaks, I mean, if we start seeing like creatures, we start seeing like other factions and stuff start popping up that are like being built in real time, like on the sets, like are going to be practical effects. I'm gonna be talking about it. Depends on kind of what gets leaked. Some of it I'm not going to talk about just because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of redundancy with some of it, but this was pretty big, I felt like, because we're getting essentially two big characters that we have a good look at now in this, and it gives us a rough idea of like what the timeline, like where this is going to happen, like where the story may potentially happen in the film, like what we might be looking at. And I think that's a big thing to talk about, because I think that's one of been the biggest question marks with this is, again, are we doing a straight adaptation of the game? So how does that even work? And then, you know, if not, then where are we placing this in the timeline? Are we, you know, is it a prequel? Is it a potential sequel? Is it something that happens concurrent with the game, like in a different part of the world? I mean, who knows? But it does seem like we may be doing that, like, lead up to, like, the shattering. Like, yeah, this could be really cool. I will be, again, I'll report on stuff that I feel like is significant enough to talk about. I kind of debated on whether or not I was even going to talk about this, but it felt like it was big enough to make a video on it. And, yeah, this is pretty cool. So, hey, look, guys, hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna keep talking about this movie until we get it and it's in theaters, and I'm sure I'll do a full review of it when it comes out in about 2 years. But yeah, look, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button, hit the like button, leave me a comment. What are your thoughts? What are you, after seeing these leaks, like, how are you feeling about some of this? I'm very interested to see what y'all, and what the rest of the community is kind of thinking about this. And hey, go you know, follow me on TikTok too. I do a lot of short form content over there as well. But yeah, I'm gonna keep my finger on the pulse on this one, guys, and I will catch you all in the next video.